Hi everyone, welcome on board to AN0TH, where you get the reliable news that is tailored for you, and of course where you can actually comment and interact. I say a very big thank you to those who have taken time to subscribe to this channel, and if you're yet to subscribe, kindly tap on that subscription button and also the red bell icon so you will be notified whenever videos such as this are uploaded.
Sign of deep-seated cracks in Muhammadu Buhari's already chaotic presidency again came to the fore recently in a manner that would seem to dim any glimmer of hope for a safe nation. This is an embarrassing crack in the presidency. The president has, in his characteristic style, kept mum, quiet. But the danger is that the house risks falling apart without a sense of urgency to mend the cracks. This man has not shown a sign of a leader. Buhari is actually running the nation as if he is on retirement, and he has some other goons to do the work. In fact, it is often said, the face of Buhari, but the hands of Abba Kyari. Abba Kyari seems to be the remote control that controls the TV and decide what should be shown or not. Indeed, the jury is still out there on the real motive behind a leaked memo from the Office of the National Security Advisor, NSA. But from all indications, it was a bad expose on Buhari in particular, his presidency, and the image of the country in general. The crux of the matter was that the National Security Advisor, NSA, Babagana Mongunu, had in a letter to service chiefs exposed a curious festering rivalry, acrimony, and power play among the president's men. Specifically, the NSA accused the chief of staff to the president, COSP, Abba Kyari, of undue and dangerous interference in matters bordering on national security. Among others, besides, Kyari was accused of holding meetings with diplomats, security chiefs, and their ministers and heads of agencies without the knowledge of the NSA or the Minister of Defense. And this is terrible. With the benefit of hindsight, it was not the first sign of a deep gash in Buhari presidency and worrisome symptoms of a divided house. The first indication of inherent disharmony showed up when the same presidency submitted to the Senate two damning reports from the State Security Service, which scuttled the confirmation of Ibrahim Magu as the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in 2017. Magu has continued in an acting capacity to show that he remains the choice of the commander-in-chief despite equally powerful camp of naysayers within the same presidency. Lest we forget, the First Lady, Mrs. Aisha Buhari, in a manner not known of most First Ladies, once courageously spoke up on a certain cabal and their overbearing influence on her husband's presidency. And we know who these people are. They are the Dauras and the rest of the goons that, through the back door, they were able to buy Keystone Bank. The same group of people, Showore claimed they came visiting him when he was in the custody of the DSS, initially called the SSS, State Security Service, and they gave him certain offers, and the lawyer representing Showore said it is actually a death sentence to Showore, and that's what they offered to him. He said they bribed him, they gave him certain slots and stuff like that, that he could, just come in, blend with us, and be a part of the show. Enjoy the system as it is. That is why it is difficult and very difficult to talk about restructuring in Nigeria, because you can only restructure something that you can work with, but this you cannot work with it at all. You cannot work with Nigeria as it is, as Nigeria is only structured in a certain way to benefit thieves, looters, to benefit people, certain few elite. That is what Nigeria has been designed for. The structure and everything, the constitution and all of it is structured in that way to benefit just a few. Are we talking about security in Nigeria? That is non-existent. Are we talking about how the terrorist group are able to get new Elox's weapons? How is this? These are not a pin that you pick on the floor. We are talking of a huge Elox and all of those weapons. How are these things gotten into the nation? How are they gotten into Nigeria? How do they get into the northern part of Nigeria? From the south or from the west, or where is it coming from? These are issues that needs to be looked into. What about the security vote that the money handed over to the governors of each state every month? We are talking about billions of naira per annum. Billions of naira. What is the money for? Unaccounted for. So that is why I said the structure is designed for thieves, looters, and not for the people. That is what Nigeria is all about. Now, Aisha Buhari, in a manner not known for first ladies, we don't hear the voices of first ladies, apart from that of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, in support of her husband, and she is known to be a comedian, very comic. Aside her, we've not heard the voice of any voice lady, unlike that of Aisha Buhari, where she said powerful clique are running the show. They are the one running rings around Buhari. Just last year, another leaked video clip showed Aisha losing her cool to wrestle a portion of the AS0 villa from some extraneous tenants known in the first family, but unknown to the law. She openly, without fear, fought a powerful uncle of the president and his family members resident in the presidential household as part of the clique she alleged had been interfering in the nation's affair. If those signs of a presidency in chaos were bad, the latest coming from the NSA is worse. For a fact, Mongunu, by rank and appointment, presides over an apex of intelligence community that naturally forbids such openness or showmanship. By tradition, the intelligence pinnacle of a country is hardly seen but heard clearly, leaving no one in doubt of who is in charge. In the United States, for instance, the National Security Advisor is more preoccupied with foreign relations than meddling in matters of internal dynamics. Both in Western democracies and Nigeria, the NSA directly reports to the president and advises the commander-in-chief as the eye, the ear, and the nose of its security intelligence. Therefore, something is fundamentally amiss when the chief of staff to the president, who may not sometimes even have the security clearance to be privy to conversation between the president and NSA, now starts coming in between the two and issuing directives to service chiefs without the knowledge of the NSA or the president. Now, recall that the president had in 2015 and 2019 directed the ministers to deal with him only through the chief of staff. To what extent does this outsourcing of responsibility include NSA? More questions. Could the leaked memo have been written without the foreknowledge of the president? Did the NSA write the letter just to get the president through the public? Was the president so sclerotic that he would not budge or be bothered by complaints to have warranted the leaked memo 2 months after? Did the president himself instigate the letter just to break free from the shackles of his own tolerance and monsters of his own creation? There are certainly more questions than immediate answers, just because the silence of the president is no longer golden. Whatever may have happened, the infighting is a mundane triviality, quite unbefitting of the leaders and leadership circles. Power scavenging and in-house battle for supremacy rubbish the majesty of any presidency and depresses the citizenry. In the light of these cracks, it is appropriate to ask, what manner of person is Buhari, and how is his presidency going to be remembered some years from now? Granted that no two presidents are the same and would have handled such matters differently, how well one handles it will determine this level of respect and perhaps its legacy. But for the president of Buhari to have allowed these rivalries to fester for too long and infect the security arm is most shocking and unacceptable. In case the president has forgotten, the vehicle upon which he rode into office in 2015 after 3 successive failures at the polls was made of his appearance of integrity, Spartan discipline, military know-how and experience. As the most qualified to handle insecurity, inefficient and dysfunctional leadership 5 years down the line, nothing has improved but worsened, with the entire country living in paroxysm of fear. How much of this is due to a divided and destabilized presidency? Clearly, A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. The ongoing fight against insurgency and other enemies of the state is only as formidable as the cracks permissible in the ranks. And this acrimony is one, both for the armed forces and the presidency. Aggressors of all kinds peep through the gaps to measure Nigerians' strength and explore the weakness to their advantage. As the leaked memo indicates, the NSA wanted security of lives and property to move from what it is to what it ought to be. The chief of staff or any ally of the president should on no account stand in the way of strategic change for the sake of public good. The president is at liberty to keep his friends and confidants, but it is not a leeway for freeloaders and hangers on to invade Aso Rock, interfering in assigned constitutional roles and offices. Most remarkable world leaders are known to have kept alter egos that positively define their tenures without necessarily occupying an office. John F. Kennedy, for instance, had his younger brother, Robert Kennedy, who was his attorney general. For Bill Clinton, it was his wife, Hillary. In Ronald Reagan's case, it was Nancy. They all added unsung values to leadership without robbing the relations in the faces of the office holders. Buhari presidency should not be different. In as much as we live in an obnoxious era of mediocre preference for God's sons and daughters that know everybody but nothing, the presidency is too revered or even sacred a place for meddlesome interlopers. As a matter of urgency and in public interest, the onus is on Buhari to show more emotional intelligence in statesmanship and put his house in order. As a president who means well, he must allow the offices and their others to operate constitutionally without hindrance, albeit with accountability. As the classical Western philosopher Plato once stated, a state cannot be just and justice does not prevail until state components find their rightful roles according to natural abilities. As it is, a man is at peace when the stomach sticks to its appetite and nourishes the body. The heart engages in courageous acts and the head, through reasoning, guides the whole all right. The corollary is that order and peace are far-fetched in a state where the artisans assume the roles of the soldiers or the military interferes in the affairs of the guardian class and vice versa. The point is that it must be unto everyone according to his or her ability and constitutional mandate. For emphasis, Nigerians today live in the most trying times. There is no doubt that the government is divided and the country and the people are suffering. This is indeed a major problem for a country at war with insurrectionists and external aggression. Idly, such hard times should have no margin for in-house bickering and disharmony, but to have all hands on the plow and eyes on the goal. As the commander-in-chief, Buhari must indeed act as one and rally all to the common purpose of general well-being for all Nigerians. We cannot be outsourcing the presidency or its power and expect the center to hold and things not to fall apart. There is indeed no better time than now for Muhammadu Leko Buhari to assert his imprimatur on his presidency. Now, that's a whole lot. I want you guys to deliberate on this. Drop your comments at the section below. And while you are at that, do not forget, if you have not subscribed to this channel, to kindly tap on the subscription button and the red notification icon bell below. It will alert you whenever videos are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.